All right. So, last time and right now of Total Drama World Tour Simulator. That what was going on is in a good, old, and lovely time to be other than French slash Paris, which that's where we were last time. And who came in first, that you may ask, was known to be the squad of the professionals with with no single five people ever to be out, and did a decent job. I gotta say that is pretty wild. So ah, man, that is wild for something. But, anyways, back to what I was saying is that, man, I gotta say that the 10 or should I say the teams apparently were not eliminated. That was so far to be is the squad of the professionals have not been eliminated in a single season. That is pretty wild, if you ask me on that question. With style, and then anybody else had a wonderful time until another team that just ended in last place was Team Victory and had to send Danny packing home. And hey, not going to lie, but I think I would miss the guy from lasting longer on the last episode. Now then, on with the show. This time it's going to be something fun. And you know what's going to be something fun? Is that in a good old water below. So, who do you guys think who will be out this time? But no, no, no. Should we have good questions? And let's get it on right now for most likely. So, is Team Victory going to lose another person tonight? Or should I say, in fact, the rest of the teams are doomed to be doomed? And will pretty much anybody have the squad of the professionals lose again? Find out here on Total Drama World Tour Simulator. Anyway, it's time to begin this episode. So, anyways, Chris McClain. We'll see you around the flip flop, and we're gonna start this right about now. Meanwhile, with the first class to be is Team the Squad of the Professionals. And so far, Tyler was missing Izzy already, which, in fact, he was kind of thinking that she would have been on his team, but nope. She was just pretty much in the other team anyway, with Team Amazon. So, and as in for Heather, she rolled her eyes away from Tyler. And as in for Owen, well, guess Owen was pretty much talking to Tyler, which at this point they were just talking. I will have to guess. But, anyways, that, by the way, everyone, was pretty nuts. So, anyways, as in for that, looks like Owen was thanked exactly from Tyler, and then Owen said, "You're welcome back." Which, anyways, Gwen was reading a book on her seat, and Izzy was playing around the rats while they were sneaking around in first class. But anyways, so far, looks like meanwhile for this team Amazon that was also to be in first class. That guess Harold and Sally and Sierra are the only three people left in the Amazons left. So, I have no idea, but that's gonna be something. And for so much of a reason exactly that looks like Harold was pretty much commenting about saying is like to be the new champions of the team, which we'll see by any means necessarily. While Harold and Sally were talking, and also as in for Sierra, she was looking at the window and didn't pretty much pay attention, but until then, She pretty much was after hearing from Harold and Sally. Now, meanwhile, with the Nancy Drew catchers in the Chris McLean movie theater set, and also FYI, the Chris McLean movie theater set has definitely been fixed by a few of interns that were just fixed. So it pretty much wouldn't cause a problem now. So, ouch. Anyway, looks like once again that they were just definitely talking, and pretty much so, while Justin and Trent were definitely talking. And as in for Josh, yep, they pretty much lightly say so, I think. Which, oh snap, Josh is just still manipulative in most other turns, even against his own team. That is pretty wild afterwards. Which, of course, that Josh was going on against Trent, and so did pretty much with Justin, which Justin didn't really have any involvement with Trent or Josh at the moment, which he, on the other hand, was pretty much lightly talking about, like, to see for what was going on. But, anyways, yeah, and also Trent was trying to pretty much pin on Tyler to know if he would ever get voted or anything, but pretty much, ouch. And oh my god, if you guys pretty much do pause around with it, then you pretty much know why on the script that you might be seeing why. But anyways, ouch. As in for pretty much likely Katie and Justin were talking, that they were pretty much talking about the movies which they were, so pretty interesting. Meanwhile, with the No Fear Savages, and then as for Alejandro and Adam, they were definitely talking about the movies, which looks like Alejandro was telling them by saying is like, what movies have you liked most? And then he mentioned about was he was talking about like that kind of movie was like he was talking about like or whatever he said right there. Exactly. That he pretty much liked right there. Which, like I said, dang. And as for Sadie, she was pretty impressed until Adam actually picked the movie, but impressive. Very much impressive. And then that's pretty much what happened right there. And as in for that, interesting. And then as in for Alejandro, he was pretty much thinking of his own idea in his head to know exactly that Adam had picked his favorite movie of what he liked the most. Meanwhile, back in the plane with Team Chris is really, 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 really hot. And then with Team Victory. And then so far, looks like they pretty much would complain about the pretty much in the back of the plane, which as in for Noah, Star, and Gothlistic Girl, they were pretty much thinking of an idea to get back in first place. But so far, that's pretty much something. And ooh, looks like Star is like giving her respect to Noah. Interesting. And then as in for Gothlistic Girl, yeah, pretty much for her. She was probably still like agreeing exactly, but most likely, so dang. And as in for DJ, man, he sure misses his mama already. Yikes. Looks like DJ still misses his mama. Sorry, meant to say he misses his mama. So far at least. But, interesting. Which, he's probably having like a few, he's like figuring out a few guesses about if the money's already worth it for his victory for all the way to the end. And as in for Courtney, she pretty much was agreeing about with Noah's take about the back of the plane stinks, which, well, at least she probably is agreeing on the other side of the team, which that's probably what I would have to say. Dang. And it looks like Goth Boy had a story to tell to pretty much DJ and Courtney about his pet rabbit. Oh, a pet rabbit, he says. A pet rabbit. Well, his pet rabbit is Luke. Huh, Luke the rabbit. What kind of person names a rabbit Luke? Interesting. Just asking, but, No wonder why he's got him the pet. But anyway, for what that said exactly, looks like Goth Boy continued to probably say so, and yeah, that is pretty interesting. And as in for that, looks like the rabbit would pretty much scare anybody. And so far, it was a bad rabbit, as Goth Boy was claiming it to be a bad rabbit. And oh, DJ and Courtney were pretty much surprised on the story that they were terrified on that. Ah, yikes. Well, at least that's something from Goth Boy that actually did have that idea of that story, which I clearly have no idea for no reason, but ouch. Anyways, looks like that by any chance is pretty much something. And looks like Courtney was thinking of an idea since Danny is no longer in Team Victory with pretty much Courtney, DJ, and Goth Boy. And as in for pretty much Goth Boy, he pretty much agreed that he actually said poor the guy that he couldn't blame him. But yeah, it looks like Goth Boy and Courtney might have to be agreeing on some points of the idea to see where this goes. And then DJ sighs about his mama. Yep, poor guy. Anyways, meanwhile, back with me and Chef. Hey, hey, Chris. After we let them do the challenge, why not host a party? You know? Great idea, Chef. Really, would want to do that for a long time. Now, alright then. You got yourself a deal, Chef. Oh, yeah, Chris. We're definitely gonna host a party whenever we do that. But, anyways, you want to land the plane? Sure thing, buddy. Go ahead and lower down the plane, eh, Chef? Oh, yeah, I'll lower the plane down to the water. You go ahead and slowly lower the plane down on the water and take them off the plane while I get the boat ready. Oh, hell yeah, I'm on it, Chris. Just let me lower the plane down, and then I'll let you go ahead and get to your boat, while I will get everybody to the nearest exit. And as in for me, I was going onto the speakers. Hey, attention, Total Drama World Tour Simulator passengers. We are in an emergency landing, festivities or whatever. You guys will be shown to the nearest exit. I pushed everyone off the plane and closed the door.